Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a classic fable that has a lot to teach us about trust, responsibility, and choosing our friends wisely. It's the story of the stag, the sheep, and the wolf, so grab a comfy seat and let's get into it. Imagine a sunny afternoon in a peaceful meadow. A sleek, fast-footed stag approaches a gentle sheep who is minding her own business, probably chewing on some delicious clover. The stag, looking quite confident, has a favor to ask. "My dear sheep," he says, "could you possibly lend me a measure of wheat? I'm a bit short at the moment, but I'll pay you back, I promise." Now, the sheep was no fool. She looked at the stag and thought about his reputation. She knew he was famous for one thing above all else: his incredible speed. This stag could disappear over the horizon in the blink of an eye. If he decided not to pay her back, what could she possibly do? Chasing him would be completely pointless. She'd be left with nothing but an empty wheat sack and a valuable lesson. So, being cautious, the sheep decided to ask a very sensible question. "I understand," she said politely, "but lending is a matter of trust. Do you have someone who can vouch for you? A guarantor, perhaps. Someone who will promise to pay the debt if you can't." The sheep was basically asking for a cosigner, someone to back up the stag's promise. It's a pretty standard practice, even today when you're getting a loan, right? You need someone to guarantee you're good for it. The stag's face lit up. "Of course," he exclaimed, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. "I have the perfect person. My good friend, the wolf, has already promised to be my surety." He said this with such confidence, as if presenting a Nobel Prize winner as his reference. He expected the sheep to be immediately impressed and hand over the wheat without another thought. Well, the sheep's reaction was not what the stag expected at all. Her jaw practically dropped. "The wolf?" she repeated, her voice filled with disbelief and a little bit of outrage. "You want me to trust you because the wolf is your backup? The wolf?" She couldn't believe her ears. She knew the wolf's reputation even better than the stag's. The wolf wasn't known for his honesty or his commitment to paying debts. Quite the opposite. The sheep continued, laying out her reasoning very clearly. "I know the wolf all too well. He's a thief. He takes whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and never, ever pays for it. He believes everything belongs to him for the taking. The idea of him guaranteeing a loan is laughable. He'd probably just take the wheat from me himself and call it a collection fee." She then turned her attention back to the stag. "And as for you," she said, her tone firm but fair, "you have those long, powerful legs. You can run faster than the wind. If I lent you this wheat and you decided not to pay, I would have absolutely no chance of ever catching you to get my payment back. So, I have a fast runner who won't be caught and a thief who won't pay. What a combination!" The sheep shook her head and gave her final answer. "I'm sorry, but I cannot give you the loan on such terrible security. A promise from a runner, backed by a promise from a rogue, is no promise at all." And with that, the sheep turned back to her clover, leaving the stag to figure out his problems on his own. The moral of this story is a powerful one. Two blacks do not make a white. In other words, two bad things, or two untrustworthy people, don't magically combine to make one good trustworthy situation. The stag was a flight risk, and his guarantor, the wolf, was a known predator and cheat. Putting two negatives together just makes a bigger negative. This fable teaches us to look critically at the company people keep. A person is often judged by their friends, and if their backup is as shady as they are, it's a giant red flag. The sheep was wise enough to see that a bad promise backed by an even worse one is completely worthless. She protected herself by using common sense and not being swayed by the stag's confidence. It is a great reminder for all of us to be careful about who we trust and to always look at the bigger picture before making a commitment. What do you guys think? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to judge someone based on their friends or their guarantors? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.